Hi, my name is Lillian Rodriguez, and today I'm going to give a presentation on why the divorce rate is so high in married couples. Stick around. For better or for worse, and until death do us part. Those are the words that two people in love take on their wedding day as they unite in marriage. So why are couples ending up in divorce court? In my presentation, I will convey, based on my research, the reasons that those individuals that one day were in love and vowed to spend the rest of their life together end up divorced. Today's divorce rate is at an all-time high. Statistics indicate that 1 in every 2 marriages end up in divorce, which amounts to 50% of marriages in today's society compared to 60 years ago when the divorce rate was approximately 23%. Studies indicate that there are many reasons that a marriage may end up unhappy, unstable, and result in divorce. Some of those reasons are as follows. One of the reasons that couples end up divorcing is that they do not fight fairly. In the beginning of a marriage or a relationship, when couples have disagreements, they appear to be minute. And due to the fact they're in love and do not want to hurt each other's feelings, those disagreements may just be swept under the rug. However, once you have a couple become married and live together, there is a potential for more agreements to occur. As those disagreements happen, at times things may escalate and become shouting matches, which in turn become resentful and hurtful feelings. So instead of having those shouting matches, what couples may do is talk to each other, value each other's opinion. Disagreements, after all, can be healthy in a marriage as long as they are taken care of and worked out in a proper, respectful manner. Another reason couples may end up in divorce is due to infidelity. Sometimes in a relationship, couples may feel lonely and unhappy, and instead of working things out amongst each other, they find someone to comfort those feelings or negative feelings that they feel at that time. It is extremely difficult for couples to heal from infidelity, although they may try. So that's one of the major reasons that these things happen. Another reason couples may end up in divorce is having one individual who's more controlling than the other. Sometimes one wants to be the head of the household or controlling, whether it's the male or the female, and they want to call, so to speak, all of the shots. Well, that can make the other individual feel minor, feel controlled, feel like his or her opinions or abilities do not matter. So that's something that needs to be watched out for in a relationship and discussed and communicated if these things surface up. A fourth reason that couples may end up in divorce is that their expectations are unrealistic. Some people believe in the fairy tale story. You find your prince charming or your princess, you fall in love, you get married, and you live happily ever after. People have the notion that their mate is supposed to make them happy. And when their mate does not meet those expectations, then that's when the feelings of hurt and loneliness set in. People need to remember that they need to make themselves happy, and only within themselves being content is they can be in a content and happy marriage. There shouldn't be a false expectation that the mate is supposed to make them happy. They need to do that within themselves, hence bringing happiness into the relationship and the marriage. The fifth reason that couples end up in divorce is that we live in a disposable society. Similar to my second reason, when things do not go well in a marriage, i.e. due to infidelity, due to the other reasons that I've discussed in this presentation, it's easier to just dispose of your party and find someone else, instead of staying within the relationship and finding means and ways to work things out. Times can get tough, but with a little bit of effort, it's worth staying within the marriage. So, although we live in a disposable society, I think that couples need to start thinking a little differently. After all, it's 50% of the marriages that are ending in divorce. The sixth and last reason that my research has indicated and shown that people end up in divorce, and in my opinion, the number one reason that these things tend to happen is that people don't communicate. Lack of communication within a relationship will definitely lead you to perception and misunderstandings, miscommunication within a relationship. Couples tend to wait until it's too late to deal with a situation. I believe that as disagreements come up, that as situations come up, couples need to talk about it. They need to communicate in a respectful way, of course, and value their opinions. They need to put their opinions and argument on the table and discuss them. However, not only discuss them, resolve them and move on. It is much easier to ignore the situation and pretend that it isn't there. However, just like dirty laundry, those disagreements will build up to a situation. And what happens in the end is something very minute can end up being a mountain, hence the relationship just not knowing where it went wrong and ending up in divorce. In conclusion, divorce can be inevitable if couples simply work things out as they surface. When things get tough, it's time to roll up the sleeves and start working within the marriage before it escalates and becomes unmanageable and uncontrollable. If couples feel that whatever situation at hand is bigger or broader than they can deal with, there's nothing wrong with seeking professional help. Professional help can sometimes assist in areas where couples are having a difficulty, since professionals are neutral parties that can listen to both sides and come to a neutral agreement. Couples should learn to communicate better, to value each other's opinions, to discuss things in a reasonable manner, and to get to a happy medium where both sides are content and there are no hurt feelings or resentment. After all, weren't the vows that were taken for better or for worse until death do us part?